can't learn to run with the pack, one of these days you'll be someone's dinner.
Hi, Jon Favreau.
Hello.
Great job with The Jungle Book.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it. And what's kind of interesting is that you managed to take elements from the original Disney movie, but you do change them.
Yes.
In certain regards. For example, Baloo, in
Yes.
the original film, just sort of saunters into the movie.
Yes.
And here you have a dynamic,
Yes.
action-packed. What was your biggest concern adapting it into a new milieu?
Well, tone, because if I use photorealism, and we talked about films like The Look of Life of Pi or Avatar, if you built a world in that form and you did a G-rated kids musical, I think it would be odd. And so we drew inspiration tonally from not just Jungle Book, but also films like Lion King, and especially the Walt Disney legacy of the Big Five of Snow White, Pinocchio, Dumbo, Fantasia, Bambi. Like, those were the movies that had the proper tone. And so to mix those two tones was the biggest challenge.
You visually referenced The Lion King a couple of times, I think. When Shere Khan falls, I think he even does the scar animation.
And the Stampede.
Yeah.
That's also, but that was interesting because that was borrowed from the Kipling.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of back and forth with all of these archetypes and mythic moments. And certainly there's a little bit of Dumbo, if you notice, with the elephants, and even looked at Monstro for some of the stuff with King Louis.
Huh.
So there was cinematically, you got to remember at the time, super high-tech stuff. The underwater sequence of Pinocchio at the time was viewed as like when Nemo came out, like see the underwater world for real for the first time. So this cutting-edge technology is very much in the tradition of what Walt was doing at the time.
One of the things Walt Disney did with the original Jungle Book was he did change the ending a little bit. And here, it seems like you're setting it up a bit more for a sequel.
It could be.
Yeah.
But I think it got it on theme a little bit more, not to spoil things too much. And also, I didn't like the ending when I was little.
Really?
I really bummed out on him abandoning his friends and going off to the man village.
See, I thought that was just a metaphor for growing up, like the end of Winnie the
It is.
Pooh.
It is, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like in Elf, I end it with he goes back. You could still. I think the point here is that you could live in both worlds. Now, I think our relationship with nature is much different than it was back when Kipling was writing. Nature is something we have to protect and harmonize with now if we want to see it stick around. If not us, then our kids' generation. We could completely change what the face of the earth looks like, and I think that the idea that Mowgli gets a sense of responsibility and humility when it comes to how he fits into nature, I think is a message for our generation, which is much different than it was 50 years ago for the film or 100 years ago for the books.
Yeah. Now, I guess my last question is sequel Tailspin. Are we doing Tailspin?
We could do Tailspin. I mean, the technology definitely exists. If you saw, planes, it's there. And we'll see if we can get Bill Murray to come back and play a pilot.
I'm down.
All right.
Awesome.
Come on, Mowgli, let's be on our way.
But I'm helping Baloo get ready for hibernation.
Bears don't hibernate in a jungle.
Not full hibernation, but I nap a lot.